human rights. Kung wala kayong pagmamalasakit sa kapwa-tao ninyo, wag mo akong isali sa inyo. If you do not have that native, innate love for your countrymen, Filipino, then you do your business. Do not drag me into this kind of shit. It pains me deeply as a Filipino to. Diyan ninyo alam ang... Basta inyo, sige bilang dyan kung ilan ang namatay. What do you think of government forces, the military and the police? All idiots? Yung human rights. It's very easy for them to say that there were so many persons killed, almost 7,000. Well and good, if you insist. Sige, pangalan. Juan de la Cruz died last night by gunshot wounds. Assuming that he was really killed or there was a gunfight, kindly look at the second page of that your document or turn it back and start to read. Who was this criminal killed? I'd be cruel and brutal in my language. To me, they're just a carcass. You destroy my country because every time you sell drug, you destroy a family. Wala na akong immunity, but you can go ahead and file a case. I would be happy to face you anyway. Let me be very clear to the human rights. Sabi ko na sa ito sa kanila, since when a crime for a president to threaten the criminals, when I do not destroy my country because I will kill you. And do not destroy our children by feeding them with drugs because I will kill you. Nothing could be as clear or clearer than, if I may, Pastor,
Yes,
might to continue, nandito na rin tayo sa world stage, yung human rights, it's very easy for them to say that there were so many persons killed, almost 7,000. Well and good, if you insist. Sige, pangalan. Juan de la Cruz died last night by gunshot wounds. Assuming that he was really killed or there was a gunfight, kindly look at the second page of that your document or turn it back and start to read. Who was this criminal killed? Me? I'd be cruel and brutal in my language. To me, they're just a carcass. You destroy my country because every time you sell drugs, you destroy a family. You know, if you have an enemy, all you have to do in this country is to get one of the children addicted to drugs, feed them with drugs, and that family becomes dysfunctional. Now, I would like to ask you better answer me. How many families, because they go home to their families, so how many families would become dysfunctional because of the drug trafficking? Alam mo, pag, when there is a, God, I forbid, huwag sa inyo mangyari. That family becomes wala na, it's all hell. Magnakaw ng, they steal first with your things, the property of the family, the car, minsan they would destroy the drawers of their mother and father and get the jewelry and pagbili. Starts there and the family, I said, becomes dysfunctional.
Perpetual ang problem.
Okay lang yan. Basta mayaman. O bagay, but still, galit ako. Itong mahirap ngayon, itong mga taga-Tondo, itong taga-Boulevard, itong taga... Ilang pamilya nasisira dyan. At one night na pagbili, one single person will have to contaminate another person so that he can have an income to support his addiction. And it goes like internecine. Pag gano'n yan, contaminate one, then the other one would contaminate. It becomes an internecine thing. So, ilan ang pamilyang nasisira? Yung iba, maghiwalay ang asawa. Problema na yan eh. Mga anak. Itong mga pobreng Pilipino, anong mangyayari sa kanila? So, invariably, because of may dalawa, tatlo na, it's easy to sell drugs to. And maybe totoo yan. They take drugs para lang sa gutom. I must concede to that. Because it is true. But somehow, we're trying to, kaya nga may DSWD. But you know, you destroy a family. And what pains me, makinig kayong lahat, the wife will separate from the family and apply to the recruitment agencies that are also corrupt and run by idiots. Not all, but yung nakaloko ng Pilipino, yung gusto ko yung patayin ko. They go there to be deployed in the Middle East or in Africa or in AD. So, I will not mention the region because may mga Pilipino doon. But how many times have you read of a Filipina being raped? How many Filipino or Filipina, if you may, na they commit suicide. They do not go out in the streets and have themselves bumped by a car or run over by the train. They will just run and jump into why? Because the door is locked. So, tumatakbo na. How many? Lahat na, nakita mo na, jump over the... Many times nabasa ninyo kayong mga Pilipino. Maybe they can no longer stand the... I'll tell you this. When I was mayor, there were about 2 mothers crying at my gate. So, my wife, which was an early morning, went out and said, she wakes up early. What's wrong? And said that their daughters were arrested for distributing rosary. Well, in the first place, they should not have done that. It could be a crime in some other jurisdictions. So I said, I'll do something about it. So I started to call our embassy in that place to ask questions. Ayun nga eh. So, my wife, because they were there every day, wala namang, they didn't have, bring along with them food, so my wife had to accommodate them, including the children who were running around and making a mess out of her sala. Sabi na, asawa ko, do something about this. So I decided to go there. And requested for an audience with the highest official or the person who mattered most in this kind. It was quite a bit dementia, but he still could, you know, because when the senior aide whispered to him, I saw him then. So I was lucky. Ay, salamat. So I know that I could bring back the three of them. One is from Kidapawan, two from Turil, dito sa Davao. But the legal officer of the office that I went to told me to talk to my counterpart. So parliament yung kanila. I was a congressman then at that time. Because after 3 terms, that would be 9 years, you cannot run again. You have to break. So nag-break ako as a congressman. Pero itong nangyari. Sabi niya, I suggest that you talk to your counterpart. So I had to wake up early the following morning and went to the parliament. I introduced myself and a committee on public order and safety. Same with them, but with religious undertones ang sinabi. Alam mo sinabi niya, look, tell your countrymen that they should not be deceived about itong culture. Because there are not all, in fairness to him, not all, but some of a class of people there. When you work for them, if you are bought from the slave markets of Africa, or you are a paid servant, sabi niya, especially if it's a girl, rape is part of the territory.
They own you.
Kaya yung iba na sabi ko, hindi na makatay, tumatalo na lang tapos and umuwi dito with all the, not even bruises, but with the hematomas and the traumas in the body. Human rights, kung wala kayong pagmamalasakit sa kapwa-tao ninyo, wag mo akong isali sa inyo. If you do not have that native, innate love for your countrymen, Filipino, then you do your business. Do not drag me into this kind of shit. It pains me deeply as a Filipino to diyan ninyo alam ang basta inyo, sige bilang dyan kung ilan ang namatay. What do you think of government forces, the military and the police? All idiots? You know, they are graduates of the Philippine National Police Academy and the military is the Philippine Military Academy. They know what they are doing. You don't shoot a person with his hands already in surrender, or a person that's being hogtied. Those are the work of people who abscond with the money of the criminal syndicates, as I have told you, and I am insisting na ganun nga. Hindi kami magtrabaho. Bakit pa talian ang kamay? Why would, if I were a policeman tasked to shoot people, why would I have to, take time in... All I have to do is to shoot him in the head and he falls down. Then that's it. If that is what you want to dramatize. Sinabi ko na sa inyo, I have lost so many policemen and military officers in the siege sa Marawi. Alam mo kung bakit yung biggest factory ng Shabu na doon. Including sa Osamis, yung si Parahinog na patay na ngayon, including the wife. They were the ones raking money there. Well, I'm not the president, so wala na akong immunity, but you can go ahead and file a case. I would be happy to face you anyway. Yan ang masakit sa akin. Yung mga anak, you know why? All these years, they endure rape or inhuman treatment, and all the these guys there can think of to hurt people. What is the crime of these Filipino employees or Filipino servants there? What went wrong? Ano bang kasalanan nila? Alam mo kung anong kasalanan nila? Kung hindi pa ninyo isip ito, ang kasalanan nila because they are poor and live in that's why they have to work and they send money to the family hoping that the family would remain, at least a family home is there and they can eat or some money, more money to educate the children. But after 3-4 years, they come back and they say that the husband has become also an addict and there is another woman in the family home. Some of their daughters become prostitutes and yung mga anak nila, it's either a peddler or a traffic drugs. That was what really, if you have to define me, start from there.